Election season is over in San Antonio, at least for now. All city council seats have been decided after the runoffs this weekend.
Have you ever wondered what happens to the money that candidates raise once an election is over? That's what we found out in this KSAT Explains, plus how campaign dollars are reported, but not necessarily checked. Public service requires private dollars. You need money to get elected. To run for office and start raising money, a candidate must first have a treasurer.
A candidate must have filed a treasurer with the body that is handling that particular election.
In many cases, candidates often will just appoint themselves as their campaign treasurer, and there's nothing wrong with that either.
The treasurer does not have any responsibilities other than having their name on the paperwork. It's the candidate who's responsible for ensuring that the reports are turned in a timely manner.
Candidates have to report the money they raise and spend and where that money came from or went. It's not supposed to be used for personal expenses. The list of do's and don'ts is long, and the line can be a little fuzzy.
The candidate can use their campaign funds to pay for childcare expenses, to facilitate their travel in connection with having to participate in campaign events.
At the state level, campaign finance rules are set by the Texas Ethics Commission.
State level officials file their reports with us. Local officials file with local governments.
When running for office, candidates must file one campaign finance report 30 days before Election Day, then another 8 days before the election. Then, 4 days before Election Day, local candidates are required to stop taking donations.
That is not a state rule, that's a city rule.
Well, these donations do have to be deposited into a bank.
That account must be separate from a candidate's personal bank account, but it can have their name on it. In San Antonio, there are campaign contribution limits. The state doesn't have any.
So, a mayoral candidate can raise $1,000 from one person. So, like, you could donate to a mayoral candidate $1,000, and then city council candidates are $500 limits.
That's per person or entity. Even if a large company wants to donate directly to a candidate, it has to stick to that limit. And those limits are in place 1 year before Election Day. So if Max wants to donate the max of $1,000 to the potential mayor, he can do that only once in the 365 days before the election.
What's different is political action committees.
Under law, it is defined fairly broadly as any group of 2 or more people whose principal purpose is to accept political contributions or make political expenditures.
PACs don't often donate directly to a candidate. If they do, the donation limits still apply. Money from a PAC can indirectly benefit a candidate or an issue through ads, for example. Remember Proposition A in the recent city election?
Do you want to pay for the bills of shoplifters? You will if Prop A is passed.
And there were several PACs that were formed against Prop A, and they were reported through our system. They had to do a 30-day report and an 8-day report. And we don't have contribution limits for PACs.
Okay. So they could spend $1 million on advertising if they wanted to.
Yeah, I think they might have.
While the state and the city collect campaign finance reports, they don't check them.
We take them at face value and we lock them down and we make them public.
There is a statutory sort of randomized audit process where a percentage of the reports will be reviewed regardless of whether a complaint has been filed. But we're a small agency and we get many thousands of reports each year.
We don't have authority to enforce anything. You know, you have a lot of people that are watchdogs, right?
Yeah, groups like ours, we are always on the lookout. My name is Anthony Gutierrez. I'm the executive director of Common Cause Texas.
Watchdog groups like Common Cause Texas monitor what elected officials do and how they spend their donations.
It falls to groups like ours and just to Texans that are concerned about these types of issues.
Common Cause often looks closely at big issues like gun reform or climate change and follows the money, especially to see if candidates are getting donations from groups with a stake in those issues. They're also on watch to see whether candidates use donations for personal gain.
It's usually something happens that makes us think there's something suspicious going on here. Like, for instance, I've seen office holders or candidates who are not yet elected to office, but they write books and then go on a book tour. Sometimes they'll sort of intermix the two, like they're doing campaign events while they're selling their books at the event. And there are potential ways that could violate campaign finance laws.
While the Texas Ethics Commission and the San Antonio City Clerk's Office don't review candidates' finances, they do take complaints.
An investigation isn't initiated unless we receive a complaint, and anybody in Texas can file a complaint with the Texas Ethics Commission.
In San Antonio, an ethics auditor reviews a local complaint to see whether it warrants an investigation and gives the candidate a chance to respond. If there's a violation, there could be a fine. It's a similar process at the state level, but someone has to scrutinize those campaign finance reports first.
The way the system's set up in Texas, it's pretty easy for an office holder to raise a ton of money and not use that money for its intended purposes, for campaigning or for office holder expenses, like for them to use it on themselves in a lot of ways.
So what happens to the money once a campaign is over?
They continue to collect donations after the election.
As long as somebody continues to file those 2 reports each year and disclose any activity out of that segregated campaign account, they can maintain those contributions indefinitely.
That's win or lose. An elected official at the state level has to submit those finance reports twice a year. In San Antonio, it's 4 times a year, and contribution limits still apply after a campaign is over. If a candidate or elected official decides to end their political career and they still have money in their campaign account, Texas spells out how they can get rid of it. They can give it to their political party, the state, a charity, a college for a scholarship program, back to the people who donated, or to a PAC or a candidate. And that candidate can be themselves for another office.
What he could do is make a contribution to another campaign. If that other campaign happens to be his own, he can do that. But it's also, that money would be subject to whatever the contribution limits are for that other seat.
Who gets to hold those seats is decided by voters. And it's also up to voters to follow the money that gets candidates there.
It is a terrible system, but that's kind of what you get when the politicians are making the rules for themselves.
So what do you want to see explained? Scan this QR code to take you to the KSAT Explains page. That's where you can find all of our stories and a place where you can submit your own KSAT Explains ideas. We'll be right back.
Today, former President Donald Trump traveling to South Florida as he prepares to turn himself in on federal charges tomorrow. Trump has been indicted on 37 counts in the classified documents case. Prosecutors say Trump illegally kept highly sensitive records when he left office, including military and nuclear secrets. It's the first time a former president has ever faced federal charges. Trump railed against the indictment over the weekend while he was on the campaign trail.
Pennsylvania's governor has now signed a disaster declaration following that interstate collapse in Philadelphia. That huge section of I-95, one of the nation's busiest highways, crumbled Sunday morning after a tanker truck caught fire underneath an elevated portion.
Look at some of this video behind us. I mean, repairs are expected to take months and cause a ripple effect of delays throughout the Northeast region. ABC's Lindsay Watts in Philadelphia with new details.
Oh boy.
One of the nation's busiest interstates bursting into an inferno in Philadelphia Sunday morning. Dramatic images capturing the terrifying moments for drivers before the collapse, the highway erupting into flames.
95 was collapsing. I drove over it and it was collapsing.
According to authorities, a tanker truck hauling hundreds of gallons of gasoline crashed while navigating a curve on I-95. The truck landed on its side, rupturing the tank and causing the massive fire.
I-95 stretches from Maine to Miami. I dare you to find a more densely populated 40 or 50 mile area around 95 than right here where we're standing.
State officials say demolition of the destroyed section of I-95 will happen in the coming days, and rebuilding the highway will begin soon after. Still, repairs are expected to take several months, and the impact will be felt up and down the entire East Coast.
This is not just about commutes, this is also about supply chains, about 150,000 vehicles a day.
Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg says his agency, along with state and local authorities, will coordinate their efforts to resume traffic on the highway for tens of thousands of motorists as quickly as possible.
It's just crazy how this can affect everyday life as much as it is. I mean, just look around all the cars.
State police have now confirmed a body was discovered in the wreckage, and they're now in the process of identifying the remains. Lindsay Watts, ABC News, Philadelphia.
Back here at home, look outside with live cam this evening. We know it's going to be hot this time of year, but that humidity, that is what is just oppressive out there today.
Stifling.
It is. And typically we get a little break from the humidity in the afternoons. That's not the case right now. We talked about that earlier in the newscast because of all the moisture in our soil. I mean, it's a good thing to have that soil moisture, but we feel it, that's for sure. 95 our current temperature. 81 by midnight, so still in the 80s through midnight, and then tomorrow morning we start the day at 76 degrees. We're going to give you a little comparison this year to last year up to this date and take a look at our temperature trend and when we're expecting triple digits in just a bit.
All right, 'tis the season to ask, how hot we going to get today?
Yeah, exactly. And our friend the heat index back in full force.
It is, and it's high. The humidity is high all day because of that soil moisture rather than the typical break, in the afternoons. But I think we'll start to see that humidity fall off for the afternoons by Friday and into the upcoming weekend. Let's talk about today. 97 our high temperature. That's after a morning low of 77, and the average is 92. We're going to be way above average for the foreseeable future. The hot spot in our area today, Cotulla, 106 the high. Del Rio made it up to 97. Pleasanton, 98. The high temperature. And let's give a little comparison here. So by this time last year, we already had 12 100-degree days by this time last year. And the hottest was 105 on this day last year. The hottest so far this year, 98 degrees. And no, we have not officially hit 100 yet at the airport in San Antonio, our official climate reporting site. 95 now with that hazy, hot, humid sky out there. Dew point of 70, and that makes it feel like it's 6 degrees warmer than the actual air temperature. And that mugginess, it's sticking around. Port SA, 97, feels like 105. Hondo, 98, feels like 106. Gonzales, 96, feels like 106. So we're really adding on to that heat index with that mugginess out there with the dew points around 70 and even in the low 70s. You look at actual air temperatures right now, generally in the 90s, 91 Canyon Lake, 90 Bernie Stage Airfield, but you get farther south and west of town, creeping into the triple digits. Del Rio at 99 and Cotulla still 106 degrees for the temperature, but cooler air is not that far away. Lubbock is 75, Amarillo 79. And we've got 70s stretching all the way up the plains because of a cold, or a stationary front, I should say, that's off to the north of us. And it's going to linger for several more days. So that cooler air, it's within reach. It's just not moving our way. We're stuck on the hot side of that, and we're going to feel the warmth and stickiness as a result. And it's no surprise that near that boundary is where we have some showers and thunderstorms today. And now even just east of San Angelo, big supercell popping up east of San Angelo that's headed eastward. Within that red box is the tornado watch area, meaning conditions are favorable for a potential tornado if a storm develops. And that storm has developed, so that's what we'll be watching up north. Otherwise, our big blue H, the heat high, it's here to stay. Notice in the days ahead, it just lingers. It's loitering over Mexico and South Texas. It's just hanging out, and it's going to prevent any of those rain chances from coming our way. In turn, this is going to press down on us and give us heat instead of any of those rain chances. So here's our temperature outlook. Tomorrow, 99 the high. By Wednesday, we should get to 100, we think, officially at the airport, and then up to 103 by Friday and Saturday. And that's when we think we'll see a little drop in that soil moisture, so the afternoon humidity should be a little bit lower, but the offset, well, means warmer temperatures. So the heat index could really get up to about 107 at any time during these afternoons and the days ahead, and even higher heat indices south of San Antonio. Tomorrow we'll start the day with the low clouds at 76, then make it to 99 with a lot of sunshine for the afternoon. Another wild card is the low cloud cover early in the morning. Exactly how long that sticks around can limit our heating a bit. But tomorrow, triple digits west of town, even Hondo, Castroville 100, Elmendorf about 99 for the high temperature. And we get into Father's Day weekend, good pool weather, splash pad, whatever you can find.
Find at a pool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thanks, Adam.
We'll be right back.
A man found dead in the San Antonio River has been identified as 62-year-old Roy Tavitas. Officers say he was fully clothed when he was found. SAPD says the body showed no signs of forced trauma. The medical examiner has not given a cause or manner of his death.
An SAPD officer has been suspended for 30 days for punching a female suspect in the face. The incident happened in December of last year. Records show Scott Marshall was never charged in the incident. His unpaid leave started on June 3rd. He's scheduled to be back on the force July 2nd.
A man out on bond for drug possession and evading arrest has been arrested for the same charges. Windcrest police say Roy Ramsey drove away from officers during a traffic stop. Police found his abandoned truck with drugs and a gun inside, they say. He's been held in the Bexar County Jail on a $90,000 bond.
To Houston, where police are investigating a shooting at a club over the weekend. Police say at least 6 people were shot. Officials say the shooting happened as a result of a fight inside the club. No arrests have been made. That's your 60-second recap.
Oh, we're cranking up the heat a little bit more. High temperatures at or above 100 looks like starting on Wednesday, and a lot of sunshine. We'll have the morning clouds, but most of the day will be sunny and hot and humid.
All right, thanks, Adam. And thank you for watching the news at 6.
We'll see you on the night beat after what could be a decisive NBA Finals game tonight.
We shall see.